Oh my goodness. Hi, welcome back to another video. So as you would have seen from the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be building my October TBR. So I don't normally do TBRs. I also don't have the habit of doing wrap-ups. But if that is something that you would like to see from me, please tell me and maybe I will think about incorporating it every month. We will see how. This month I decided to actually do an October TBR video because there are a lot of readathons happening in October because it is the spooky month. I have a lot of things planned that I do not know whether I will be able to successfully carry out, but I am very excited nevertheless. Let me just give you a brief idea of all the things that I'm going to be participating in. So we have Spookopoly that is hosted by Becca and the books. It's usually not October, but this month she decided to do it in October so that it will be like kind of horror themed, and she has like a whole new board with spooky prompts and things like that, which I will be playing together with you later as we try to figure out the prompts and what books I can fit into them. And the next one is Throneofpages Discord readathon, which is also called Throne of Horrors. The readathon is called Throne of Horrors and it is running from 9th October to 30th October, whereas for spookoplathon it is happening from 1st to 31st October. So I am planning to get through all the books that I need to get through in the first 8 days of October. That's so ambitious. I'll try my best, and then from then onwards then we'll continue with the Throne of Horrors readathon. So for Throne of Horrors, I actually already have a TBR, but I will share that with you a bit later. The last thing is Carrie Can Read's Discord, and they do like a monthly buddy read. So this month's buddy read is A Study in Drowning, which is one of my anticipated releases of 2023. So of course I'll be reading that as well. I have a lot of books to read. Not all can be fit into the readathons, some of which are outside of that. So there is also the aspect. It's very ambitious, but I'm gonna try my best. Firstly, let me talk about the non-readathon books. I would also like to read Cleopatra and Frankenstein if there is time in October, because this is sent to me by Times Reads. Thank you so much for the review copy. I like to read at least one book by them a month. I mean, it kind of goes with the horror spooky theme, right? Because there's the word Frankenstein. It's a bit of a stretch, but yeah. So this is one of the books that I'll be attempting to read. If I can fit this into the spookoplathon TBR, then that would be great. Outside of that are a few secret TBR videos that I will not review here because, as the name suggests, it's for a secret TBR, and if the video doesn't go through then you wouldn't even know what it's about. Okay, let's start with the Throne of Horrors readathon. It's kind of complicated because you have to pick your crew after you are sorted into your different teams. So I was sorted into the demon team, and I truly believe it is because most of us chose Bella as the villain in the quiz, but apparently that's not the same, but that's what my belief is. So from there you have to choose the prompts or the points, because they are doing this kind of Yu-Gi-Oh card game kind of system. So you have like a bunch of cards with the characters and the prompts as well as the points. So you have to have at least 66 points for your selected crew to get revenge for you, and also the prompts affect as well. So for me, I decided to do everything. So I wanted to have the characters that I liked because some of them are really really cute, and then have enough points to hit 66 and also have sufficient prompts that I can work with. So what I decided on was these 6 crew members. So we have the Fae, which is a book with a beautiful cover, the Grim Reaper, which is read a horror or thriller, Oni, which is to read a low rated book, Necromancer, which is to read a book you're intimidated by, Succubus, to read a short book, and last but not least, Wendigo, to read a book with blue on the cover. And altogether they add up to about 83 points if I'm counting correctly. That's a lot, but yeah, okay. Anyway, the corresponding books I will show now is over here. So A Study in Drowning is the beautiful cover one. The Whisper Man is for a horror thriller. The X-Hex is low rated book because it is currently rated 3.52 on Goodreads. And then If We Were Villains is a book that I am intimidated by because the more dark academia books I read, the more I seem to not enjoy them. So I'm really really scared that I will not enjoy this as well, because this is also a book that was recommended to me by one of my friends on Instagram, Bookstagram if you will, and I I'm just really afraid of letting them down, you know. And it's also like later I don't enjoy it, so then I'm really scared because September I was in a reading slump. October I feel like refreshed and ready to go, but if this drags I might go back into a reading slump. So there's all these factors. Short book, which is A Deadly Education, it is 313 pages, which I would say is a relatively short book. And I realized that I forgot to show you the Whisper Man. Look at my copy. It's like a very weird sized copy. It's very thin in terms of the width. It's just a very oddly shaped book. And then we have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches for blue on the cover. This one I heard was like a very good cozy fantasy, which I am also kind of scared of because so far I have read House by the Cerulean Sea, which I loved, Legends and Lattes, which I thought it was okay, not mind-blowing, and then we have this. So hopefully this one is like a new favorite, but I'm also scared. And I realized I also have the XX. This one is also a short book actually. Out of all the spooky, dark academia e-books, I feel like this would be like a good break in between all of that. It's just like a don't need to think so hard, have fun kind of book. So these are the 6 books that I'll be reading for this particular readathon. I'm not sure if I should read you the prompts of all of them. I guess we could. A Study in Drowning. I'll just read you the blurb. Effie has always believed in fairy tales. She's had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. She's found solace only in the pages of Angharad, author Emrys Merdin's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Her dog-eared copy is all that's keeping her afloat through her stifling first term at Lear's prestigious architecture college. So when Merdin's family announces a contest to design the late author's house, Effie feels certain this is her destiny. But Hirave Manor is an impossible task, a musty, decrepit estate on the brink of crumbling into a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, she finds she isn't the only one who's made a temporary home there. Preston, stodgy young literature scholar, is studying Merdin's papers and is determined to prove her favorite author is a fraud. As the two rival students investigate the reclusive author's legacy, piecing together clues through his letters, books, and diaries, they discover that the house's foundation isn't the only thing that can't be trusted. There are dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspiring against them, and the truth may bring them back to ruin. So this is like rivals to lovers, maybe. The academic vibes sound really good. So yes, then we have The Whisper Man by Alex North. After the sudden death of his wife, Tom Kennedy believes a fresh start will help him and his young son Jake heal. A new beginning, a new house, a new town, Featherbank. But the town has a dark past. 20 years ago, a serial killer abducted and murdered 5 residents. Until Frank Carter was finally caught, he was nicknamed the Whisper Man, for he would lure his victims out by whispering at their windows at night. Just as Tom and Jake settle into their new home, a young boy vanishes. His disappearance bears an unnerving resemblance to Frank Carter's crimes, reigniting old rumors that he preyed with an accomplice. Now, detectives Amanda Beck and Pete Willis must find the boy before it is too late. And then, Jake begins acting strangely. He hears a whispering at his window. My god, that sounds so interesting. If we were villains, Oliver Marks has just served 10 years in jail for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day he's released, he's greeted by the man who put him in prison. Detective Colborne is retiring, but before he does, he wants to know what really happened a decade ago. As one of 7 young actors studying Shakespeare at an elite arts college, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off. Hero, villain, tyrant, temptress, ingenue, extra. But when the casting changes and the secondary characters usurp the stars, the plays spill dangerously over into life and one of them is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police and themselves that they are blameless. A Deadly Education. Enter a school of magic unlike any you have ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only 2 ways out. You graduate or you die. Elle Higgins is uniquely prepared for the school's many dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions. Never mind easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school. Except she might accidentally kill all the other students too. So Elle is trying her hardest not to use it, that is, unless she has no other choice. I don't think I talked about the XX. 9 years ago, Vivienne Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. Sure, Vivi knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchard hayride scented candle on hand, she isn't worried it will cost him anything more than a bad hair day or 2. That is until Rai Penhallow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Graves Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's ley line lines and make an appearance at the annual fall fair turns disastrously wrong. With one calamity after another striking Rai, Vivi realizes her silly little ex-hex may not have been so harmless after all. Suddenly, Graves Glen is under attack from murderous wind-up toys, a pissed-off ghost, and a talking cat, with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Rai have to ignore their off-the-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. Sounds like a very cute romance, right? And last but not least, we have the very secret society of irregular witches. As one of the few witches in Britain, Mika Moon knows she has to hide her magic, keep her head down, and stay away from other witches so their powers don't mingle and draw attention. And as an orphan who lost her parents at a young age and was raised by strangers, she's used to being alone and she follows the rules with one exception: an online account where she posts videos pretending to be a witch. She thinks no one will take it seriously, but someone does. An unexpected message arrives begging her to travel to the remote and mysterious Nowhere House to teach 3 young witches how to control their magic. It breaks all of the rules, but Mika goes anyway and is immediately tangled up in the lives and secrets of not only her 3 charges but also an absent archaeologist, a retired actor, 2 long-suffering caretakers, and Jamie. The handsome and prickly librarian of Nowhere House would do anything to protect the children, and as far as he's concerned, a stranger like Mika is a threat, an irritatingly appealing threat. As Mika begins to find her place at Nowhere House, the thought of belonging somewhere feels like a real possibility. But magic isn't the only danger in the world, and when peril comes knocking at their door, Mika will need to decide whether to risk everything to protect a found family she didn't know she was looking for. So those are the 6 books for the Throne of Horrors readathon. Let me just read the blurb for Cleopatra and Frankenstein as well. New York is slipping from Cleo's grasp. 24 at a different party every night, and with a student visa that's swiftly running out, she doesn't even have money for cigarettes. But then a chance encounter on New Year's Eve offers her a way out. Frank, successful and 20 years older, can give her the security she craves and the green card she needs. And in Cleo, he sees a life filled with beauty, art, and freedom. As the two rush headlong into an impulsive marriage and their friends are drawn into its tumultuous orbit, what began as a chance meeting will change all their lives forever. Okay, so currently we have 7 books on the TBR. Now let's move on to the next section, which is we are going to be playing Spookopoly. Let me start my screen recording. I have started my screen recording and I have decided to use Canva for this format. So let me zoom in a little bit. So this is her board that is designed for the spookoplathon, and my little character over here is a little frog. I found a website that does rolling of the dice. Before we start, I'm going to settle with 5 rolls. If there are doubles, then we will add them onto the TBR. From what I understand, Spookoplathon allows for double ups. Like you can use the same book for different prompts, if that makes sense. Well, I will try my best not to use that too often because I do not have faith in myself that I'll be able to read more than 7 books this month, because my time for reading hasn't been a lot lately. So I'm going to try my best. Without further ado, let's start our roll. If it's a double, I'll have to add to the TBR. Yeah, I already heard. How is the first row a double? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have 6 rows now. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. TBR veteran. Read a book that has been on your TBR for a very long time. So I purchased this on November 24, 2022, and it was fulfilled in end November 2022. It has been almost a year, so I would say this is a TBR veteran. I mean, when it came, it was white pages, but now it's yellow already. So yeah, this would be the first book. Let's go with our next roll. 2 out of 6. Oh my god, for a moment I thought it was a double again. That scared me. Okay, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Are we out of the woods yet? Read a book set in the woods or forest or a rural, country, isolated location, or a book with trees on the cover. Feel free to be open to interpretation. I am going to say the very secret society of irregular witches, because for one, this looks like woods, right? And there's the top of the mountain, things like that. So that's going to be my interpretation, and this is going to be the book that fulfills that prompt. So 3 out of 6. We got another double. So now we have to do 7 prompts, 7 rolls. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is this? Daphne Du... What's this? Daphne Du Maurier, the queen of dark, haunting, atmospheric literature. Read a gothic story. Oh my god, please tell me If We Were Villains is a gothic story. Okay, Yes, confirmation on the screen. It is very much a gothic novel, the sense that a terrible event is coming, and then the slow tearing apart of the fabric that held the friends and their world together. This dice, it keeps giving me 4 and 11. So now we are at 11 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Baccarat? Oh my goodness. Guys, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Like the first few clicks. Okay.
Orange recommendation is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Obviously the majority of this is black, but the most dominant colour I would say is orange. It's also like the focal point of this cover, and this is about a vampire that moves into a small town, so I feel like it would be a really good spooky season read.
So I'm so excited because I literally borrowed it from the library today. So this is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and literally borrowed it because October spooky season, wanted to read this, wanted to try out more of Grady Hendrix. I was actually contemplating between My Best Friend's Exorcism and this book, but on Goodreads, the other book is rated higher, so I wanted to start from this. Let's read you the blurb. Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her husband is a workaholic, her teenage kids have their own lives, her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime. At these meetings, they're as likely to talk about the Manson family as they are about their own families. One evening after book club, Patricia is viciously attacked by an elderly neighbor, bringing the neighbor's handsome nephew, James Harris, into her life. James is well-travelled and well-read, and he makes Patricia feel things she hasn't felt in years. But when children on the other side of town go missing, their deaths written off by local police, Patricia has reason to believe James Harris is more of a Bundy than a Brad Pitt. The real problem? James is a monster of a different kind, and Patricia has already invited him in. Little by little, James will insinuate himself into Patricia's life and try to take everything she took for granted, including the book club, but she won't surrender without a fight in this blood-soaked tale of neighborly kindness gone wrong. I'm so excited! I've already mentioned this, but so far for Grady Hendrix, I've read Final Girl Support Group and How to Sell a Haunted House. I enjoyed Final Girl Support Group more than How to Sell a Haunted House, but I didn't enjoy both until like their favourites. Final Girl Support Group paid a great homage to slasher films, and that introduced me to that genre, which I found it really eye-opening. It was really gory. But for How to Sell a Haunted House, it kind of fell short because I was anticipating a lot. I thought it would be as good as Home Before Dark by Riley Sager because they're both about haunted houses, but How to Sell a Haunted House did not live up to my expectations. So I hope that for the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, it'll be better. I mean, there's a book club in this. It better be good. So now we're on to roll 5. Please give me something different and not a double. Oh my god, again. Okay, 3. 1, 2, 3. Community. I was hoping that this wouldn't pop up because I didn't prepare for this. Okay, let me think of how I want to do it. Oh, okay. This is by Hey Reader. I mean, you can see the screen. Let's just pick a card. This one. Friend pick. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just asked my friend to choose a book for me to read. I'll update again once that comes in. But now let's go back the die. So now we are at row 6 out of 7. Okay, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lowest rated on my TBR. Oh my goodness. It is not easy at all. I need to enter all my books into the system.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm scared. I have just added most of my books that I think would be on the lower end to make sure that everything is accounted for. So here is my own TBR, and I'm going to sort by average rating. I'm going to sort in ascending. Oh my god, I'm scared. Oh shit, okay. It has revealed the answer to you, which is this book. Actually, this is the original. The English version is I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. So this is just the original, which is Joko Shipjiman, Tteokbokki는 먹고 싶어. I didn't expect this to have such a low rating. Even when I was adding it just now, I was a bit shocked. But I was thinking there might be other books that are of a lower rating than this, but apparently no. I did not expect myself to be reading this so soon because I'm actually not, but technically I'm still currently reading the original of almond, which is amande, which is quite hard for me to consume because there is no punctuation and it's like very rambling thoughts in the story. Not sure if it's meant to portray it as that of the boys' thoughts, but yeah, anyway, this one, hopefully it will be better. I mean, okay, it looks like it will be better because this is like a dialogue between the counselor or the therapist and the main character, and they do use punctuation. Oh my goodness. Okay, hopefully this will be better, but I am not confident that I'll be able to finish this in the month of October, so that's all I'm gonna say. It's a therapy memoir. Big said he is a successful young social media director at a publishing house when she begins seeing a psychiatrist about her, depression. She feels persistently low, anxious, endlessly self-doubting, but also highly judgmental of others. She hides her feelings well at work and with friends, performing the calmness her lifestyle demands. The effort is exhausting, overwhelming, and keeps her from forming deep relationships. This can't be normal. But if she's so hopeless, why can she always summon a yen for her favorite street food, the hot spicy rice cake tteokbokki? A yen, it should be a won, right? Is this just what life is like? Recording her dialogues with a psychiatrist over a 12-week period and expanding on each session with her own reflective micro-essays, Big begins to disentangle the feedback loops, knee-jerk reactions, and harmful behaviors that keep her locked in a cycle of self-abuse. Part's memoir, part self-help book, I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki, is a book to keep close and to reach for in times of darkness. It will appeal to anyone who has ever felt alone or unjustified in their everyday despair. Okay, row 7. Hopefully the last book, the last prompt. Okay, started screen recording again. Let's go. Okay, 8. Okay, we have 7 prompts. That's the last prompt. Okay. Purple. A book with a mostly purple cover. I mean, isn't this purple? Thistle is a very pale shade of purple. I am going to use my double up for this one just because I don't have any other books here that are purple. Becca just said in her video that a very secret society of irregular witches would qualify for the Are We Out of the Woods Yet prompt, which we have the same thinking. Okay, yeah, so I'm done. Okay, that brings me to the end of the spookoplathon section. I just have one more book to add. I added this book as well, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, because I'm going to be reading it for a video. I guess it's very easy to guess what video that this book will be for, but okay, I have really loved Home Before Dark, and I read that for a video last year, which I'll link up above, hoping Lock Every Door will be as good. I read The Turn of the Key by Ruth Wen. I think my expectations for that were too high, so I don't really view it as a favorite. So for Lock Every Door, which I kind of associate to be similar, I'm a bit apprehensive about, but hopefully it will be good. No visitors, no nights spent away from the apartment, no disturbing the other residents. These are the only rules for Jules Larson's new job as apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, one of Manhattan's most high-profile private buildings and home to the rich and famous. Recently heartbroken and practically homeless, Jules readily accepts the terms, ready to leave her past life behind. Out of place among the extremely wealthy, Jules finds herself drawn towards the other apartment sitter, Ingrid. But Ingrid confides that the Bartholomew is not what it seems, and the dark history hidden beneath its gleaming facade is starting to frighten her. Jules brushes it off as a harmless ghost story, but the next day, her new friend has vanished. Soon, Jules discovers that Ingrid is not the first resident to go missing. I'm very intrigued, so yeah, let me put together all the books that I have mentioned in this video. The weight of it is scaring me, and it's not all the books on my TBR. Shit, this looks so scary. Pray for me. Okay, and yeah, with that we have come to the end of this video. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to see more of such content. I hope you're having a great day or a great week whenever or wherever you're watching. Remember to stay hydrated, and I'll see you in my next video.